Okay, ramp creature, Vivien, ambusher. A fighter for the opponent's Gilded Goose. Everything is going according to plan. Let's see how it turns out. Swiftwater Cliffs, gain a life, red or blue. What are we up against? Well, how about a Paradise Druid to start the party? See where we end up. Next turn is probably a Vivien Champion of the Wilds, as much as I love my Ambusher. I do love getting Vivien down and cooking so that everything has flash and I have options. Also makes Ambusher better because we can pass and make that wolf as much as we want. And here's Robber of the Rich. We have less cards than our opponent right now, and the opponent's they're not willing to attack. So that's nice. Yeah, let's get our Champion of the Wilds onto the battlefield. And yeah, if we exile a card now, I think we're in pretty safe position. Maybe it's not as safe as I'd like, but we want to at least gives ourselves a chance to have card advantage off Vivien. Wow. What a frickin' brick that was. So none of those are playable because they're not creatures. It's gonna be one of those kind of games. I see. But all our creature cards have flash now. All two of them, one of them had flash already. Shh, don't ever tell me the odds. What does the opponent do with this Robber of the Rich? I'm predicting this is a Brazen Borrower type of deck, which there are no good Brazen Borrower targets. And here's, okay, yeah, that works. Our opponent figured out how shock happens. All right, I guess I'll just pass and get Ambusher going, as these cards aren't doing much at the moment. We lost an Arc Bow to exile, another Arc Bow to the bottom, and a Great Henge to the bottom, our big value plays. I mean, that's just bad RNG. That's just the way that random is sometimes, but man, does that feel like a game-losing play if we don't draw another Arc Bow or another Henge or another Vivien soon. 7 dwarfs. Okay then. Yeah, let's get the dwarfs going. Why not? Why the heck not? Maybe what I should have done is played the goose off the Paradise Druid just to get the robber to attack here so I'd have something to ambush. That might be a little too next level, and there's a lot of ways it goes wrong. Okay. So the opponent wants to get their Robber of the Rich trigger. You can feel it coming. So with that trigger on the stack, we'll ambush them and see if you have another shock. I don't think you do. I'm willing to take that chance, and that works out. So I can attack with this, and then make another wolf, and keep the Hexproof Paradise Druid hanging around. And we'll get the wolf train going probably until the opponent can stop it. Spark Double. It was a dwarf deck all along. Okay. Well, I hear those can get feisty, but I'll just kick back on my wolf pack and keep getting those free wolves, like I said, until the opponent can stop it. Then I might play out some other things. Okay then. The opponent does have value in their deck. I was starting to think I could outvalue them, but if they're going to play Drawn from Dreams, maybe I can't. I don't know quite what I'm dealing with. Other than I think they want to make many, many dwarves. Which, that can be strong, but if we get enough wolves to line up against them, it can be okay. I'm sure this is at least one more dwarf, right? There you go. Anybody want to rumble? No? No rumble? Alright. Just worst game of Magic of all time. Just 3/3s for days. I'll take my freebies until the opponent figures out how to pressure me through them. And I'm sure that we'll get there, but I am trying to draw into more value stuff. Alright. Guess we can try stacking up on this one and put a block over here. But if something happens to any one of my wolves, I suppose I'm pretty dead. So that's a little too risky for me. Let's just make sure one of these die. And I'll take 8 this time. Burn Bright. Sure. That is a play you can make. Okay. I mean, I get that that's a lot of damage, but I'm not dead. Down to 2 is all. And here's a Thrashing Bronodon. Let's take a turn to play out our stuff rather than allow the wolves to completely ravage us here. Or the dwarves, I should say. So with these on the board, we have some food to sacrifice, and we have a little bit of a food machine going, so that's nice. And I suppose I'll... I guess I should get in there with my Night Pack Ambusher if I don't plan to trade it. Alright, back up to 12. Having a food machine has something to do with our mana is another reason I should have played a Goose earlier. Because I could have been gaining life this whole time. Definitely would have been a different game. And here's Bone Crusher in my face. Here's Sacrifice My Food. Do you have another? Okay. And now the giant returns. Fee fi fo fum, me and my dwarvies. Okay. The champ is here. Block, kill it. Block, chump it. Block, absorb it. The opponent doesn't have a great attack. The Fervent Champion's weird. I don't see any other knights. This is a very unusual take on the archetype, but the opponent's getting in there. I mean, Nom. This is all to kill a goose? You give up a dwarf to kill a goose? I don't think I like that line. Or at least I wouldn't be making that line. Alright, we could offer a trade with the Brontodon. It does feel like I need to keep attacking. And we get a 3/3, so we have block, block, block. Pretty straightforward. But it also feels like if I wait another turn, I'll be in such a nice position that I don't have much to worry about. At this point, the long game should favor me, right? Unless the opponent pulls out a Finale of Revelation or another Expansion Explosion. They do seem to have these value cards. I keep thinking I should be favored from here, but so far I have not been. Alright. I guess we'll try to push it. I can just play double Harpooner if I want to, but I keep on thinking that there's going to be some kind of a flyer in this deck. I guess it's better than the Wolves right now. Should probably just eat a food now so that the opponent can't somehow ambush me with a good top deck. Your turn. Like a slaying fire if they waited until I activated something or tried to eat a food could get awkward. And here is another food. Keep the engine going. And at this point, this is a lethal threat of an attack, so the opponent will have to start blocking away something. Yep, we're starting to take hits. I mean, what does your Fervent Champion do after this? Not much, I don't think. All right, pass. And that'll be game 1 against a very unusual Izzet deck. Which makes sense. We're playing a very unusual green deck ourselves. This hand is slow. It is on the play. If we draw another land, it's off to the races with like Vivien, Brontodon, but we need 2 lands to be good. But if we get 2 lands, we're really good. Give it a shot. We might also be able to use Vivien to find like a Paradise Druid or a Goose, or we might draw one of those things. So cross your fingers. I'm sure what we'll actually draw are 3 more Wicked Wolves. And here's the red deck, right on cue. They smell fear. Yeah, the Great Henge. That is definitely the kind of top deck you get when you're low on lands. That is automatic. Lock it in. Double Ginger Brute. Oh, good God. These stupid decks. But I get it. You do what you gotta do. Here's my Brontodon. It is ready to take out your Cavalcade or your Frenzy. And it has 4 freaking toughness, so what you gonna do about that? Ginger Brute number 3? Yeah. Makes sense. Gonna get in there. Gonna charge up those brutes. You gave the same brute haste. You gave the same brute unblockable twice. Let's see if you know that. Alright. Been there personally. No attacks. Okay then. Well, here's Vivien. Let's plus to give vigilance and reach. So we can start smacking face here. And maybe this Vivien will draw the ire of our opponent. They'll start attacking her. We are a land away from a lot of power, but that missed land drop might turn very lethal very fast. Torbran. Torbran with Gingerbrute is not a combo. Does the opponent know that? I mean, that will kill the other red source of damage from our opponent rather than the Gingerbrutes. We don't have a food for this Wicked Wolf. That's unfortunate, but let's... Well, if the opponent blocks with the Torbran... Here's the thing, right? I can play Nightpack Ambusher at flash speed. If it lives, the Wicked Wolf is big enough to eat the Torbran, but I do have to let my opponent have a Torbran for a turn, which is scary. On the other hand, I could plus Vivien here and attack with this. If Torbran blocks it, this Wicked Wolf could come down and eat it, but I lose both creatures, which is really bad. I don't see what I could hit with the Vivien that would make it better. But I guess we should try. Okay. Flash speed instant Wicked Wolf could be fun. Yeah, we'll say go. Urvi Champ. Okay. Now what? Everybody getting tipsy? Alright. I guess I'll try to ambush Torbran. It is too bad a shock can kill this. But we do what we can. We could also do like this, right? Then we take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next turn, the Wicked Wolf can kill the Torbran if our Nightpack Ambusher lives. I think that's just asking for too much. I think I'm better off just trading now, trying to absorb as much as I can. Trying to keep my life total as high as possible here. Okay. It's working out, kinda. Still gotta do something about Gingerbrute and company. At least they're mana intensive. And we see a Spitfire and another Torbran. Okay, that'll be fun. Can't wait to experience this. We'll go ahead and keep the vigilance going.
Have you ever lost a home?
I feel like I'm about to, if that makes any sense. I feel like my house is burning. $14. Big sequence here. Here's a Scorch Spitter. The opponent doesn't go for the Torbran. They must have another in their hand. Because this thing gives out reach like it's a cupcake. Alright. Ambusher again. If I attack with the Ambusher and the opponent blocks with absolutely everything, I can flash in the Wicked Wolf to blow it up. So I think I'm down with that. 100% down.
Strike now, strike hard.
Yeah, baby. Strike now, strike hard. And yep, opponent will take it. We'll go to end step. We'll get our Wolf token. We'll hold on to our Wicked Wolf to come in at flash speed. This is now a 4/4 thanks to Nightpack Ambusher. And there's Torbs. So let's let the opponent... This still has reach. If this attacks, this becomes a 4, so I guess I'm blocking it. But let's let the opponent commit to an attack here. Alright, so before this does that much damage to me, we'll flash in this wolf. This wolf will battle you. And they trade because of the 2 extra damage, but now this only does 1 instead of 3. This pumps, which is annoying, but we get some sweet blocks. Yeah. All of this, like, I hate giving up ambushers, I really do. I hate trading off Wicked Wolves, I do, but we keep our life total as high as possible. We are the superior board presence. We should be acting like it.
Tear it down.
Tear it all down. Down to 5, 1 turn clock. Right where we need them to be. We have a Flash Wicked Wolf again if the opponent tries any funny business. And you saw a lot in this game why I don't like Gingerbrute in a deck with Torbran. 3 Gingerbrutes, if those had been any other red creature, this game would have been dramatically different. And it's Fervent Champion and a Mountain, and the opponent packs it in. There's the Arcbow and the Vivien. Together, they are, yeah. They're like one piece of the same art drawn by different people. Forest. I've got one of those. We're both playing Magic, right? It's all about green right now. All about that green. Paradise Druid. I got one of those too. Welcome to the mirror. I don't have one of those. This could be bad. I don't have a food for that. What am I gonna need? If I play Vivien and minus it, it just dies to the Questing Beast, which is bad. But I don't really have any other way. I don't really have much else I can do. There's just not a lot of choice right now. Yeah, this really lined up poorly, didn't it? I guess I will fight your Paradise Druid and slow you down a touch. And hopefully we can draw some food so this wolf can square off with this beast proper. But we need to find a goose. That's what we need. I guess Vivien next turn can minus to search for that goose, and then we can have instant speed food potentially. Could be fun. Our opponent gets it right. They have Gingerbread Cabin. Maybe I should have Gingerbread Cabin. Oh, Titanic Brawl. We're fighting. Ooh. Well, that's rude. How the hell am I gonna get out of this? I think we have to play the Arcbow and then untap with it because, man, that's a lot of damage next turn. So there's that. We could run it for 3 right now, but I don't see what that gains. We could dig with Vivien, but I don't see what that gains. We could play a second Hexproof Paradise Druid. Something to block the Henge Hammer, which is gonna pump this up. I wonder if there's anything to be said for putting out Harpooner instead of another Paradise Druid. I guess Harpooner can block the beast if we just want to absorb that damage and give ourselves as many turns as possible to get in this thing. This is gonna be tough. Yeah, Henge Hammer says let's rumble. So yeah, I think we'll just absorb all that we can and not take 6 from this Questing Beast right now. It doesn't have Trample, remember. It has many words, Trample is not one of them. And can the opponent add to their board? That's not, that's a party pooper. That is a party pooper right there. You are no fun. Well, you're gonna let me have the Arcbow, so I guess I can't complain. So this is where we're probably dropping off like Paradise Druid to go 5 deep for something to square off with Questing Beast. Or the Brontodon. Let's find out. The opponent might have a pump spell. It would explain why they just have 0 regard for this. I think you can go. Well, we'll see. I think that's still better in the long run than a Paradise Druid. If you Brontodon now, I'm going to be really happy about it. It's not going to stop the ability. Oh my gosh, they did. Okay, come on, give me something for this beast. I mean, this works. This works. Undergrowth will grow it to a larger creature, 7 power in this case. Throw it under the bus. Under the bus that is the Questing Beast. Our opponent just won't miss a step though. Well, I've got something for him. Let's go ahead and put out this Vivien and minus.
Let's see if you're worthy.
Try to dig up some more creatures.
Mysteries of life are endless.
Honk. Honk it is. But we've got a Flash Speed Thrashing Brontodon to drop. For a block. If there's another Questing Beast, it wasn't meant to be. And guys, it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be today. I could try to save my Vivien. Or I could bounce this Brontodon off this Brontodon. I guess Vivien digging for a larger creature is probably my best chance to be in this game, so just another thing under the Beast Bus.
You fight like a city brat.
Okay, okay. We're not quite dead. Goose. Wolf. Fight. And nom that food, we have to, or for the indestructibility and for the +1/+1. And we've got a goose. It is a food factory. We have the combo. We have the food and the wolf. Our opponent's got their own goose. Their Brontodon's getting jiggy with it. Down to 6, but not quite out. We've fought tooth and nail to be here, dang it. And a Bronto of our own. Okay. I mean, I should be attacking with this wolf, right? Obviously, I'm vulnerable to another questing beast, but it's not lethal. So this wolf needs to start cracking. I wonder if I'm supposed to goose up and just make this a 5/5, but I don't think so. Don't think that's right. Opponent still with a backup card. Land number 6. Is it Feasting Troll King? God dang it, it is. Wow! That's big. The opponent was the greedier deck, and now I might pay for it. We're gonna need some good luck. We're gonna need some good luck for sure. We've hung in there. We fought hard. Another wolf. Well, I can eat this Brontodon. And I also have enough food now to crank this up to absorb the first Troll King and become a 6/6. I could eat this goose to cut off the food supply. That's probably the right play. This vigilance is going to be rough. But yeah, let's eat that goose and cut off our opponent's food. And say go. Killing the Troll King doesn't do much, they just bring it back. The opponent, if they sacrifice their Bronto to target our food, I don't think it matters very much, but let's see. Alright, first things first. Let's put both up in front and see which one the opponent stacks first. That's the one we're going to sacrifice a food token to. Okay, you want the 3/3, sure. Using the Bronto here, our opponent's made some mistakes in this game. They don't seem to quite know how their Bronto works, and we've got to give them another lesson right now. Alright, so now damage has to be assigned to this, then this, so neither should die. If I know how anything works. And Troll King down. Of course, Troll King comes back. And we get to do it all over again next turn. And a Paradise Druid, okay. More food. The Wicked Wolves versus the Troll King. And I think we see here how Troll King kind of fell out of favor. There was a lot of hype for it at first. But the more people played with it, the more they learned that Wicked Wolf is the real bomb. So we can send in one of our wolves and save the other to block. I think that's a good play. We've got to keep the pressure up. We want this game to end. I can also hold this back for another goose, as a food factory keeps the Feasting Troll King on the march. Alright. Create a food token. Feel a little bad onboard tricking my way through this game. I feel like we were behind most of it though. And if there's any skill factor to this game, especially in mono green, I feel like it's my job to at least display it when I can. God knows I screw up enough. Alright. I'm trying to think. Like, holding this to take on a goose seems meh. It might be the right play, but I think we'll just get it out there and try to pressure the opponent and get them dead before they can draw their way back in. And that's a scoop. Umbra. I hope you've learned some tricks with your Wicked Wolves this game to use on your future enemies. It's Goose time! Turn 2 Vivien. Probably not the broken turn 2 Oko, but why not? Let's do it. Oh, look at this. My goose is ready to block you. Honk honk. Okay. Is that all you got? Sweet. So, here I am, looking at my turn 2 Vivien Champion of the Wilds and thinking this might work out poorly because all the opponent needs is a creature to pump and my Vivien does nothing and I gave up my food. So, also it takes me off of a turn 3 Wicked Wolf. So yeah, I'm just gonna get a Harpooner down. Something to block one of these Pelt Collectors. And yeah, whether or not to make another goose is always interesting, but I think in this case we do. We just want to be on the board. A stack of food probably won't matter too much. As long as we have one around, we're probably good. Plus we might need some chump blockers to defend Vivien. Opponent looking at our 3-2 Kroll Harpooner with reach and saying, I got a Stonecoil Serpent. Well, your protection from multicolored won't help you here. No attacks with the Pelt Collectors. Interesting. Alright. Well, I don't want this to die and grow the Pelt Collectors. I guess I'm just minusing. The opponent will probably attack it down. And we're trying to get our way to, like, Wicked Wolves and good cards. Because right now we don't have those things. Another person on Mono Green Gingerbread Cabin and Shifting Ceratops. So their start is a hell of a lot stronger than ours. Like, infinite. We are probably a Wicked Wolf away from being fine. Face? Yeah, face. Well, here I think a Harpooner is just going to have to take out a Pelt Collector. We need them to die sometime. Other than that, I don't see a point in chump blocking. Down to 14. And my turn. This is really rough. This draw went extra poorly. I'm going to dig for a Wicked Wolf. I think that's the best way to do it now.
You think nature is kind?
All right. Who do you want to fight? We kill the Ceratops, we grow the Pelt Collector anyway. If we kill anything here, we have to sacrifice food, which is too bad. The thing that hits the hardest next turn is the Ceratops, so I guess that's the target. And then we're just trying to get back in the game as we take 7 points next turn, potentially. After that, we have Goose Factory to crank out some food. Our opponent has the Henge. Okay. It's gonna be a Henge war. Third Pelt Collector, sure. Sure, dude. It seems nice. And Smork, no blocks. Down to 7. Let's play a Henge of our own. And now we have instant speed, food, and life for our Wicked Wolf or Paradise Druid. And see how the opponent wants to play this situation. That's not bad. That's, I think, not bad is a severe understatement, of course. And yeah, the opponent doesn't know how breaks work, so in they go. Yeah, we're up to 9 potentially, so we have to have 1 chump block here, and we really need to make a food, so you go here. Gotta get that off the field. When it dies, this Pelt Collector grows anyway. It might make more sense. No, it doesn't make more sense to block the Pelt Collector. This has trample, so everything else actually has trample, so we need to put 1 block here. So block. Make a food. Eat it. Nom. And eat the questing beast while leaving our opponent in pelt collector heaven. And we're gonna have to find a way out. Drawing another Wicked Wolf is an example of a card that could potentially put us back in this thing. Well then. The big problem is we can't eat anything and leave it up. It might actually make sense not to... Let's see, this comes down as a 4/4? Actually, yeah, we can eat the Stone Coil Serpent and leave this up so that we can make it indestructible too. Because we don't really want to use our food on it. Yeah. So here's another wolf. Definitely Henge first. So we get that +1/+1 counter. We fight you. Resolve that. Out of there. Alright, we still want to use the mana from the Gilded Goose to make another food token, but let's get a Paradise Druid down, grow that, draw a card. Castle Garenbrig might be nice, but it doesn't work well with Arcbow. It does make food. Yeah, we have our blocks all lined up. Let's keep these back. And the opponent's eating food for life. I don't know if I agree with that. You'd think you'd need that around for Wicked Wolf. Like, size can matter. Boo. Big boo. Manifold Key? You're that hyped about your Henge that you need to do it twice? Beautiful. Can't be blocked. I see. Not bad. Not a bad trick. Unfortunately, we don't have the life to gain now with the goose and the food, so that is lethal. Well, we gave it a shot, my friends. We gave it a shot. It just didn't quite work out. I think going first had a lot to do with that. The mover advantage was very real. Okay, dokes. We finally have a Wildborn Preserver, our first time so far. Let's give it a shot. Let's see where this goes. Goose it. Honk. And Fabled Passage. So that's a little bit of time for us. Yeah, we'll play a Preserver at instant speed. And then we can start growing it next turn by playing Kroll Harpooners around it to bring the beats. Black mana, huh? Black blue. Thought Erasure. Yeah. Your choice is Kroll Harpooner. Don't run into this every day anymore. There were 0 of these in the Mythic, which is mind-blowing. The opponent keeps on top, huh? Tempting to play a Goose to buff this to a 5/5 or something. I mean, we're against black, so just about all of its removal is going to kill it. I guess it's better off to have 2 bodies to play around 1 removal spell. And of course, if there's rituals, so what can we do? Nothing. So there we go, make a 4/4. Smash. Blast Zone. Blast Zone go. Really bizarre. Alright. So we'll make this food token and make an even bigger Wildborn Preserver, I guess. Having the food token around for the Wicked Wolf feels good. Okay, it's a Disfigure on the Harpooner. So size-based removal. Nice. I am curious if the opponent will Blast Zone 2 geese. How much respect do you give them? We could have gone for 1 more, but I like having the food. If the opponent Ritual of Soots me, I like having an indestructible follow-up. And they gotta do something. This is a big fox riding elf. Mm-hmm. Been there, done that. So we've got our indestructible Wicked Wolf ready to rumble. Let's see if you can carry the day against what's got to be a good matchup, because our deck isn't the same power level as other green decks. Ouch. See if the opponent uses a removal spell here to tap down the wolf and use up our food. Destroy target creature with equal to cards in graveyard. Yeah, I guess we got to do it. Not a lot of choice. Might get us a 2-for-1, but if all we have are land, it doesn't matter much. And yeah, where are my gingerbread cabins? What was the matter with me? Should be 4 gingerbread cabins in my deck. The opponent does it again. Bravo. Can we draw a Planeswalker or an Arc Bow? Something to take some advantage here. I'm going to start holding lands to either A, get my opponent to use the Thought Erasure, and B, have something to discard to an Arc Bow right away if we actually draw one. This is getting absurd. This is getting absurd. Our opponent's going to tank on their Blast Zone. And give me time to stretch and just feel the flood pain. No Lochmere Serpent, just a Kefnet. Interesting tappage. Yeah, you're late. You are very late to this party.
Wild animals I like.
I like seeing Dimir control every now and then. I'm not mad. I ain't bitter. This is fine. And go ahead. We could ninja this in to try to protect Vivien and try to get a little deeper. I'm not sure what creature we're even looking for, though. The cards we need now are non-creatures. Our opponent revealed their Fae of Wishes, but they don't get anything from it. Yeah, I think what we're going to try to do is sneak down a Wildborn Preserver, then hope to draw a creature off the top to pump it to the frickin' moon. Lethal Gilded Goose, that's the plan. Okay. Yeah, they should win now. Drown in the lock. Okay, you got an island? No. Alright, Lethal Gilded Goose off the top. Let's do this. Let's do this. You troll. Alright. Well, I can take a draw away from the Narset by getting in there. And saying go.
Fury will only lead you astray.
Yeah, shut up. Enter the God Eternals. Ouch! I think that trying to pump it in response and have it survive this is foolish, so I'm gonna take one on the chin. As you can see, there were no creatures in my top 4. This worked out exactly as planned. So I don't have a reach creature that can kill this, so we'll just take this damage and not expose anything to sorcery speed. How about a creature in the top 9? Do we have one of those? Yeah, we do. Wicked Wolf doesn't kill anything here, though. Wildborn Preserver, we don't have another creature, but could become very large. The Nightpack Ambusher gets me another creature, but the Enter the God Eternals just takes it out. But I guess I kind of want my opponent to tap all their mana and go for that Enter the God Eternals, because I might be able to hit another Nightpack Ambusher to buff it. I think we gotta go for broke. Gotta go for the fences. All right. Does not flash. Does come down as a 4/4, but that's not really the trade I want. Discarding it is pretty terrible, to be honest. We could trade this and just get him for 4, but then the opponent definitely gets this Enter the God Eternals, so nope. Won't do. Won't do. Shame to draw the Wicked Wolf in that spot, but we get to go 7 cards deeper for another Nightpack Ambusher in response to an Enter the God Eternals if that's the line the opponent takes. I think we might see a Blast Zone go to 2. That can get rid of the Arc Bow Ranger, the Arc Bow, which might be on our opponent's mind, but they're a little constrained on mana. So I don't know if that's what we're going to see. They take their draw. Did they reveal it to Kefnet? No, they did not. Could be a land. Could be a creature. And it looks like the manual taps are approaching, and we're activating this to blow up the arc bow. All right. Can't take a 2-drop. Don't take a 2-drop. Don't take a 2-drop. Don't take a 2-drop. Blast Zone will kill it. Don't take a 2-drop. Looks like my choices were pretty limited. Jeez. The deck is not cooperating. Like, we were... First it was the flood, then it was the pile of stuff on top that ended up on the bottom. Like, we've been mistreated. We've been mistreated by our deck in this game. I don't think there's any way around it. The 4th Paradise Druid after I just put 3 of them on the bottom. 4 of them within 8 cards of each other. Alright. We'll try to win our 4th game against somebody else. That Enter the God Eternals, making an 8-8, is definitely going to lock this one up. And if our opponent has a play that's better than that, I don't even want to see what it is. We are smashing and bashing today, and this hand is a turn 3 wolf with a couple food sources, so it's a keep. And hopefully we're not playing some form of a control deck. It's another red deck. All right. Here's a goose. Second verse, same as the first. Maybe biogenic ooze will get to matter. So far, the Wicked Wolves and the Questing Beasts and the Nissas have just been so powerful on their own. We haven't even needed the assistance of our ooze, which is honestly one of my favorite things about the deck. No play. That might be a Chandra Spitfire then. Let's be ready for it. The Wicked Wolf is licking its lips for some Chandra Spitfire. And the goose has been slayed with slaying freaking fire. 4 damage to the gilded goose. How hateful. But it works. It works. You definitely killed it. It should definitely... I want the goose to honk when it dies too. Is that too much to ask? I mean, it took us a long time to get a good goose honk into the game. So do we wolf this? I mean, this is basically a removal spell. And the opponent just deep fried a goose. I think I'm going to play it slow, because saving the wolf to possibly fight a Torbran, saving Vivien for when we have some creatures on board, getting the ooze down, I think that's all much better. So here's another goose. And we'll keep this on hexproof duty and not attack. And see if the opponent wants to fry this goose. And it is Torbran. Okay. Do we trade with the Scorch Spitter when it crashes in? I think we do. Now if we block it with the goose, it deals 2 extra damage, so the goose would die. So instead, the Paradise Druid can keep us from taking a lightning bolt to the face here. And now the Wicked Wolf. Bow wow wow. Let's do this thing. Target here. Nom. Eats the foods, makes it indestructible wolfy, and kills the Torbran. A little bit of patience went a long way in this game, because now even if the opponent has double Torbran, we have Vivien to fight that with our wolf. That's still indestructible because we took the time to play the second goose. Steamies. Alright. War Boss. Ow. Alright, that's a pain. That's a problem. It might be a problem the oozes can solve, but I'll have to draw a land for that. I don't want to give up my food that makes the wolf indestructible. So let's see what we draw off the top. It's Nissa. That's tough. So this is a critical turn with a lot of options. Vivien could come down and fight the War Boss. Vivien would definitely be exposed if the opponent can get 1 point of damage through to kill it. Might have to throw away something like a Steamkin, though, to do it. We could play the Ooze, but then we give up our food, meaning our wolf is no longer potentially indestructible. We could play our Paradise Druid and set up for next turn and make a food token with the Goose. If the opponent has a way to, like, make us tap the Wicked Wolf, though, that's really weak. I think if we live long enough, we'll win this game. Our cards are very powerful. Our opponents are not so much. So I'm going to go with the Vivien Arcbow Ranger and try to just, if the opponent kills it, so be it. and we're going to let this wolf take out this war boss, so keep our opponent from making a horde of creatures. And then we're going to pass the turn and hope the opponent can't kill this, but I think that's very optimistic. But yeah, war boss creating a number of tokens, pumping them with mentor by attacking. I think that's one way that we fall out of the game. Here's a Robber of the Rich. The opponent's going to try to cast something from our deck. With the mana they have, well, if they have one more spell, okay, their Steamkin's alive. And the Slaying Fire is 4 damage to Vivien. So we got the Slaying Fire out of their hand, and they don't have a good attack. Their hand is on the battlefield, but they don't have a good attack because of the Wicked Wolf. It will nom their best thing. Using the Robber to get your hands on something, not reliable. We have a lot of forests, and we have a lot of ramp cards that won't help you right now. And there is the land we were looking for. I very much want Nissa to take over this game, so I'm going to put a Biogenic Ooze wall in front of her before she comes out. Because that is probably going to be a problem for our opponent, and we can pump spare mana after Nissa resolves into the Ooze to make even more Oozies. Bone Crusher Giant by Gilded Goose. There goes our food factory. But all it is a 4/3. We still have the Wicked Wolf just being a monster over here. 1 food token, keeping it as basically a free kill against a number of cards out of our opponent. There's Nissa. Let's go World Shaken. All right, and we'll crank out another Ooze, and the opponent wants no more of this. No more, please. Don't forget to eat your vegetables. Okay, we're moving in on them Wildborn Preservers. Maybe Kroll Harpooner can eat a goose for once. Like, you had 1 job, and so far you've stabbed 0 gooses. Bonk. Gutter Bones. Well, that won't do. We do have a Wicked Wolf next turn, which is pretty great. And this is definitely flashing in a Preserver, although I don't need to block this Gutter Bones. I think my Preserver can be better than that. The opponent's thinking about killing my goose. Alright, my goose is cooked. Okay. Here is a... I've got the Fox now. The Fox is on my team, thank you very much. So we could play this Harpooner and grow this now. That gets it around a Bone Crusher Giant. We could also save a second Preserver, although these aren't great in multiples. So, yeah, I think we'll just get this down. I don't know if when we'll have a Rankle to deal with, but I don't want Rankle to hit me if the opponent has one. That whole thing is weird. Like the take action, pay, blah, blah. All right, let's go. Let's smash something. No blocks. Not too afraid. If our opponent has a Spawn of Mayhem, the Kroll Harpooner gets that. Our opponent has a Regisaur, sure. What now? I can grow my Preserver to a 5/5. I have a Wicked Wolf that can eat this Gutter Bones and then make an indestructible block on the Rotting Regisaur. And combined with the Harpooner, that can kill the Regisaur. That's pretty solid. Let's do it. Let's freaking do it, team. Nom Gutter Bones. Decline the payment. Resolve that. That way we still have the food available to eat, and then we can gang block the Regisaur. If we wish. We don't have to, even. We might just let our opponent discard their cards and smash their face. Okay. Fervent Champion. Not particularly scary. And Gutter Bones. Played out instead of discarded. Don't think the opponent plans to attack then, since I can see their hand face up. They'd be trading their Regisaur for a Kroll Harpooner. It's not a good trade when you have a 7/6 and you already emptied your hand. It's very bad. Okay, I mean, I can't play it for him. Maybe they think they still have a Bone Crusher Giant, but this is in the adventure zone. Which is a mistake I make often, to be fair. But trading my 7/6 for a 3/2 reach is kind of cringy. So, the opponent doesn't have a good attack at the 3/3 anyway. How aggressive should I get? I feel like I should get very aggressive. Like, what they have going on just isn't very good. Let's do this. Let's freaking do this, guys. Let's go. Flash in the Preserver. Pump the other Preserver. Take that action. Should have used the castle. You got me there. You got me there, comments. Would have been good. Castle Lochlane. Bone Crusher Giant. Opponent doesn't offer the Gutter Bones trade. Alright. Now we'll play out the Kroll Harpooner. Get these activations. What do you want to do? I think I want 3 on one and 2 on the other. So 3 on this one would be nice. So that's bigger than the Bone Crusher Giant. Only cast. This is activate the abilities of creatures, right? This is an ability. Why can't I use this? Activate abilities of creatures. This is an ability. What am I missing? Maybe I can't make this play. Maybe I'm not allowed. That hurts. That's gotta leave a mark. Huh. Alright. I guess I'll send the 7/7. Well, actually, then I don't have a good block against the Bone Crusher and the opponent gets back their Gutter Bones. Yeah, I do. I have the Harpooner. Harpooner is a good trade with the Bone Crusher. Opponent's sucking it up with all 3. That would be fine with me, too. Okay. I could learn something today. Wonder if that's a bug or if that's how it really works. Comments, let me know. Yeah, this hand is perfectly fine and we're on the play, so nothing to complain about here. Preserver into probably Vivien, possibly a Brontodon. Nightpack Ambusher on deck. Let's roll. Blue mana. Do I just want to beat the counterspell? It could also walk right into the shock. Let's say go. Because then if the opponent counters this, we resolve the Vivien or the Thrashing Brontodon, which I think is just great. If our opponent's playing Flash, then we will show them the meaning of Flash. With our mono green deck. That is so weird. As a blue mage, none of this sounds good. What you got? What you got, sir? Okay. That resolves. Opponent could definitely have a negate here. Brazen Borrower is also an option. Quench is, of course, an option. Well, I guess this gets around negate, but this gets around Essence Capture. Essence Capture is a little more popular. Let's try sending in the Preserver. Maybe the opponent will go for a play. Radical Idea. Oh. Kind of let the shields down on that one.
Let's see if you're worthy.
Find me something nice.
The mysteries of life.
I hate this game. Okay. It's like that, yo. But our opponent doesn't seem to be in a much better spot. They're trying to opt in Radical Idea. Maybe they're the mono blue mill deck. And they discard an Arclight Phoenix to hand size. Wow. Alright. You are stronger.
You ever lost a home?
Let's go. Definitely gonna be Night Pack ambush time. This looks like the mono blue dredge mill that I enjoy so much, but it could still just be some weird red blue Arclight Phoenix that doesn't play mountains. Poor mana screwed Arclight Phoenix. I didn't mean for it to be this way. Yeah, there's your mountain. Let's see if you can rally and get back in the game. Not that I'm particularly cheering for you. Well, that could be a blowout. We could just let this go and then have our ambusher, though. And I think that the ambusher is better. But the other option is to save this with the harpooner. I guess that doesn't save it, does it? No, nothing saves it here. It would have to be a 1-drop. Me and my math. Wolf. To plus or to minus? Will I actually hit a creature? Out of 6 cards, I hit 1.
Think nature is kind?
I think Harpooner's a lot better. Schmork. Alright, end step. We get the lovely wolf token, and our creatures still have flash thanks to our existing Vivien, Champion of the Wilds. The opponent fired off a lava coil for the Wildborn Preserver. Let's see if they're able to find another one for the Ambusher. Deep in the tank, trying to navigate a way out of a tricky situation where they're certainly under pressure. They have a full grip of cards. They have one Arclight Phoenix in the graveyard. They could have another one in the graveyard if it's in their hand and they have a radical idea to discard it too. They already spent 1 opt, and they've been having mana trouble. So, is this the rope of doom, or is this the rope of a thinking, breathing individual trying to come up with the proper play? Only time will tell. CoolStuffInc.com. They have Magic singles, they have Magic sealed product, and they have all kinds of, well, cool stuff. Use the promo code CGB5 for 5% off an order. They sponsor the channel. It makes a big difference. It helps me be here for you, making videos every day. So it would do me a big favor if you would check out the link in the description for CoolStuffInc.com and click it. Here comes an improbable alliance. Our opponent looks like their plan is to make a 1/1 and try to block here. Kroll Harpooner is going to have something to say about it. And here is Radical Idea. Discard, make a fairy, pass to attackers. Well, looks like they missed the land drop. Just making sure. And then here is a Kroll Harpooner to just fight that out of here and get more damage in. And we have a Gilded Goose as well. Wicked Wolf shows up, brutal. Alright, we'll give our Night Pack Ambusher reach. Don't have an easy way to pump the squad right now, so this is the group that will get in there. And it looks like the opponent gets another turn. We'll see what they can make of it as we make another token with our Night Pack Ambusher. And the board is definitely going to be a tough one to overcome. Arclight Phoenix can do some crazy things if you can draw enough of them. Let's see what happens. Shock your Ambusher. Yeah. Flame sweep your board. Okay. Everything dies. That is a fact. I'm just thinking if I want to use a 5th mana here to play out a Harpooner and a Brontodon afterwards, or if I want to keep my food token to go with my Wolf. And I've decided it's Wolf time. Yeah, we'll just throw the Brontodon down. Brontodon is lethal. And that's game. The Brontodon also, if the opponent had some way to interact, could kill the Improbable Alliance on its way. Sure. Gilded Goose, Wildborn Preserver, hope for land, but we could also throw a Vivien down early. There's things here. There's a lot going on. This is great. We got a Goose. What could go wrong? Not drawing land would be very wrong. Maybe this Vivien can find us some Paradise Druids or something to kind of supplement that issue or help overrun it. But man, mana creatures are slow. If lands had Summoning Sickness, if you couldn't tap them for mana the turn they came into play, they'd be a lot worse. Let me promise you this. We are going for win number 6, and it looks like we'll have to do it against a red mage. That is not who you want to be playing turn 2 Vivien against, but we can be bringing down a Flash Wildborn Preserver. I think that's better than playing the Brontodon. Our opponent might play something and attack into it, so we'll give it a shot. I hope the goose doesn't die. If the goose dies, I'm going to have a lot of regrets. So, like, play 2 more of those hasty thingies you love so much and attack. Boo. That sucks. But maybe we can hit this dodgy boy. Yeah, looks like the opponent's going to give me a dodger. So at least we got that done, and we did draw the land. Okay, there's hope. Pump this beyond the reach of another Bone Crusher Giant seems like a pretty good idea here. Kroll Harpooner might have a Spitfire to take on. I don't know how likely that really is. The other thing we could do is get Vivien Champion of the Wilds going, which, you know what? Being able to play creatures at flash speed against this deck can really have a large impact on what happens. So let's go for it. And let's plus. We're going to plus a lot until our hand is pretty much empty to try to keep this alive. We could flash in a Paradise Druid, grow the Preserver, and eat the Bone Crusher Giant. Or we could flash something in to just be a trade with the Bone Crusher Giant.
Let me show you what was lost.
Yeah, because we have Vigilance, let's just go for it now. It's only a trade, but this has already traded once with the Tin Street Dodger and killed that, so it's been a very good Wildborn Preserver, and I know I want to get the Paradise Druid out, and it's hexproof. So I'm not worried about anything bad happening to it. Alright. Opponent says nothing, so we'll just sit up. We'll just wait, see what they do. There might be a better play even than the Druid. That's going face. Feels like a light up the stage. So this is where I feel like a Kroll Harpooner blocking the Bone Crusher is even better, because we can grow the Wildborn Preserver and keep it around for the future. So yeah, let's try. Our opponent could have another Bone Crusher Giant here, which would be pretty unfortunate. But either way, their current Bone Crusher Giant will die. And you can see them thinking. The wheels are turning. I think what you want to do is kill the Wildborn Preserver with the growth ability on the stack. And then the Kroll Harpooner still trades for the Bone Crusher on the board, but still a good value play for the opponent. Well, they are going to take their time about it. This red mage didn't get to the edge of 6 wins without using their head here and there. Nothing else to do with the mana, we may as well pay. And no, there's no Bone Crusher Giant from the opponent here. So I'm going to put the Kroll Harpooner up for sacrificial fodder and keep my Wildborn Preserver around, and I'm a happy camper. It went about as well as I could hope. Do we keep plussing Vivien? I still have plays to make, so I think as long as I have things to do with my mana that are decent, we want to keep the Vivien plussing, because it's very, very hard for the opponent to get it off the field the higher the loyalty is. We can minus it when we run out of plays and need something to do. Because God knows Vivien can whiff.
Tear it down. Tear it all down.
Tear it all down. Vivien whiffed many times on me. We have a block. Okay. Go to damage. What you got? It's a rim. It's a Boulder Rush. So that makes Steamkin a 4/2. So we'll flash in our Paradise Druid, and we'll grow this to a 5/5, and hope the opponent doesn't have another trick up their sleeve. Even if they do, I think we're taking the Steamkin down with us. So that land was a pretty key draw. Let's see what they got. Another Boulder Rush. Okay. Well, everything dies, and that's a fact. But I'll take it. Steamkin is gone. No life gain, I can handle that. I mean, the only thing I really have for that is food. That's a good draw. This might be a good opportunity to minus, because plussing isn't very important. But I know what I'm doing. I'm playing the ambusher, so why put the Vivien in danger?
All things begin and end.
I should have just given this reach because I could have. I shouldn't have submitted 0. I should have targeted this anyway. So let's see what Tybalt and friends do. This looks to be Li Shiqian's Cavalcade of Calamity deck from the Mythic Championship that did make the top 8. It was the only mono red deck in the whole frickin' field. Alright, take 1. So, I can blow up this Cavalcade or I can get my Ambusher going. And this open mana makes me think blowing up the Cavalcade might be right. I don't think there's anything wrong with pacing my threats right now. I don't have to have the biggest thing on the board right away. I can just keep working on the opponent here. And now I have this Thrashing Brontodon to give Vigilance to. I can go over there and threaten Tybalt.
I'm a survivor.
And if the opponent tries to kill the Brontodon, it blows up the Cavalcade. Our opponent reveals another Tybalt and a Light Up the Stage. And Light Up the Stage reveals Torbran and Scorched Spitter. So, a lot of cards in the exile zone that I'm a little concerned about. And another Arc Bow off the top. It's not looking particularly shiny at the moment. Let's fire up the Brontodon.
Over's the only way.
Send the Brontodon at the face. There's no point in going after Tybalt when there's another one potentially on the way. And the opponent will take it. And we'll pass the turn. This is a big turn. Torbran seems like the play, at which point we might start digging for a Wicked Wolf. But here's Scorched Spitter. Here's second Tybalt. So I think a Torbran must already be in the grip for the opponent, as it's such a key card. Now I'm wondering, will we see an attack here? I think we'll hang on. I think letting the opponent have a Cavalcade trigger here isn't the worst thing. And now we can bring out our Night Pack Ambusher. There's a Kroll Harpooner. But that doesn't fight a Torbran. Now we're going to start digging for a wolf. You know which wolf, the wicked one.
There is wonder in
Who's the man? I think I can send in the Brontodon here. It'll draw a chump block, but this will just deal 1 to something, and anything that blocks here can't support the Cavalcade, so... There's no, like, really good targets, and I think the opponent might even pick the Vivien, but no, they're gonna let Tybalt die. Alright. I think I've got him right where I want him, which is an instant speed, Wicked Wolf, taking their Torbran down when the big attack is coming. Oh, not yet. Double Cavalcade. Okay. Let's at least remove 1. Let's limit the effectiveness here. And we could wolf fight first, but I don't think I want to. I'd just assume flashing a Harpooner to block something if the opponent attacks me anyway. And the opponent says no. Saving this wolf for a Torbran seems smart. Like, the play. So, let's just get this Kroll Harpooner onto the battlefield. Henge. If only I still had that Harpooner to play this Henge on the cheap. But I don't think this is Henge time. If we take the shields down for the wolf, something very bad could occur. So since I already have a play I'm happy to make, let's go ahead and plus here. Who do we want to give the Vigilance and the Reach to? Our opponent could try to kill this Ambusher, which could be bad. I think the hardest thing to kill here is the 3/3 then, so we'll go with that.
Walk away.
Does anybody else want to be frisky? Since this can trade for 1 Devil, that's nice, but it would still do it before the Cavalcade hits. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to get another wolf. Yeah, we can attack with this as well. Opponent takes it, falls to 7. This is a critical turn juncture coming right up here, friends. And is it that Torbran? Yeah, that Torbran. Read it like a book. Let's wait till the opponent commits to their attack. then we drop the wolf, before any of these triggers actually resolve. And we do need to eat. In order to live. The opponent went for the big finish, but they see they're going to come up short. The best they can do is to get me to 8, and that would be with no blocking. The counterattack more than lethal. The red deck hath fallen. It's an Arcbow Nightpack Ambusher kind of hand. We'll give it a try. We'll give it a try. Game 7. Actually 9. Because we have 2 losses. 6 wins, 2 losses. We roll out of here on top, or we come up just short. It's all down to this. The final game for the Green Flash deck. The drama intensifies, and we're fighting the Charcoal Cat. So, what's it going to be? What did our opponent bring for us? It's like Christmas morning. It looks like mono red. You know, a mountain is equal mono red. Cavalcade, probably. So, against mono red, Arcbow doesn't make a big difference, and we don't even want it this early in a game, typically. But having a Gilded Goose that can block the Initiate and possibly play an Ambusher next turn, that's what I'm talking about. So I'm playing a little off curve, but I'd rather draw the Goose late than never. And Harpooner may still have a very crucial role in taking out a Chandra Spitfire, whereas Ambusher can be an endless stream of dorks. I mean, I'm going to block. I call your bluff. Yeah, just try it. The wall of Goose is real. Spits. Sure. Okay. And just like that, the Nightpack Ambusher is ready to rumble. Let's see what our opponent does with this turn. I think what I most want to see here... Interesting. So we know it's not a Chandra. I do think our opponent will just try to get a Spitfire out. Let's go for the wolf. I don't think that if they have the 4 damage spell, I feel really bad, but I think I take that risk. You just don't see it that much. You just don't see it that much. Nom. Get this one off the board because it's basically 2 damage, one of which I can't avoid. I do try to kill this when I can because it turns into a black creature, and if you kill 2 of them, they turn into an amassed creature, and that can work against Torbran and Cavalcade. Ooh, wow. The opponent reveals Skewer the Critics. But they go for Cavalcade instead. How can that be right? Alright, I'm going to take my wolf token because I don't know how long this is going to live based on that play the opponent just made, and I have the ability to gain 3 life a turn from a food. How can that be right? Do you think they missed that they had the chance to skewer the Ambusher? Or do you think they don't care? I really don't know. I don't know, and I don't know if I'll ever understand. Second Cavalcade. I guess the opponent is thinking combo kill. Let's see what they do here. They go in. Wow. What is happening? I guess they could have a shock. I mean, I call that, right? I make them use their mana that way. Maybe they just don't care because they get an amassed creature and they get to do it again next turn. All those things make sense. I mean, the Skewer is just hanging out. What are you going to do? Are you thinking face? There's another Initiate. So again, if we can get this Initiate to die, the amassed 2/2 no longer triggers the Cavalcades. Just something to keep in mind. And Torbran doesn't help it either. I mean, where does this Skewer go? The face? I basically counter that with my Goose. Nom. Yeah, I think I'm just going to chill. Make my opponent prove that their whole deck can beat these 2 cards. Torbran can be a real house, but I guess I'll have 2 blockers. I'll have 3 life. Hope for the best. Gotta get him dead. And we see looking for a block here, but not taking it. And yeah, that's smart. The Grim Initiate, if it blocks here, does kind of turn itself off. At least from using Cavalcade by being a 2/2 a mass zombie. I've said it a few times. I keep reminding people because I see this kind of stuff every day. All right, are we just jamming? We are. Here they come. Ow. 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 Stop it. So first strike, yeah, my goose won't die from this exchange. If my wolf had first strike, it would, because we'd amass before damage. Just something to keep in mind. And the opponent is just, they're done. They're just scooping it up. The power of the goose and the ambusher was too much. We literally beat them down with these 2 cards and 4 lands. And that is one way to get your 7th win. Let's lock those prizes in. My God, green is strong. I hope that you enjoyed this video with the Flash green deck. I don't think it's as good as the other green decks I've shown you in power, but I think what it has going for it is the opponents don't know how to play against it. And we kind of saw examples where I don't think my opponent quite knew, they just didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to do against the Flash mana out of the mono green. So that is one thing that it has that other green decks don't. Kind of an ability to really outfox the opponent, if you want to think about Wildborn Preserver or your pet fox when I say that for the LOLs. I would cut the Great Henge from the deck. I think we need more creatures. Honestly, I would add Ronus. I think that especially with Flash, the Ronus instant speed pump of your board could be very good and create wins out of nowhere, where it's like end step, play a few threats, your turn, flash in Ronus because you have a Vivien on the board and just do a million damage. Sounds great. All right. Thank you for watching this video. That will do it for the standard portion of the Covert Go Green color challenge, but I've still got a historic deck for you tomorrow, which I think you'll enjoy. Have a nice day and goodbye.